Got it. Okay. Oh, let me cut me down.
Good evening, everyone. I hope that you all had a wonderful Christmas. You remained safe, but you had fun and enjoyed yourself. And thank you so much for tuning in to Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. I'm delighted today to have one of my great friends, Carol Crockett, with me today. And we're going to be doing a book review. But thank you so much for tuning in. So everybody, wherever you are watching from, whether you are in the Bahamas, Jamaica, Canada, Nigeria, all over the United States, welcome, welcome, welcome. YouTube fans, Facebook fans, and Periscope fans, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started. Y'all come on in, come on in. But I am just super delighted to have you here today.
Thank you.
All righty.
Yeah.
Carol A. Crockett is a humble servant who walks worthy of the calling of God that is bestowed on her. She is a proud graduate of Prairie View A&M University, where she received her degree to teach and has done so for many years in schools and churches alike. She is a wife, mother, sister, aunt, and very proud to be called Cece by her grands and great-grands. Carol is a long-standing member of Pathway of Life. It is here where she utilized the tools that were gained from the Ministers' Roundtable that assisted her to step into her ministry calling. She is a gifted teacher and minister of the word who is accustomed to seeking diligently to find hidden treasure in order to present the truth in practical ways to others. Carol regularly ministers at Pathway of Life in Overcomers class. She is a regular minister of record for Pathway Super Kids, conference speaker at women retreats, group leader in Bible study fellowship, and she is a seasoned intercessor. Her wisdom reaches many as she presents the truth in love. It is her passion and joy to encourage others by presenting the good news of God's word. So I'm delighted to present my friend Carol Crockett to you today.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Miss Deborah. I'm absolutely excited, and I'm always excited when you ask me to come and be on your platform. I just so enjoy our conversation, and thank you for that great introduction. I do appreciate it, and it's always good to be here to let's chat and talk about how we can help others build their best life, in particularly young men. I love that platform that you have.
Thank you. Now,
Hmm.
I know I just interviewed you, but is there anything else that you would like everyone to know about you? You have any, hobbies or something special that you like to do?
I actually, I used to be an avid jewelry maker, but I kind of let that go to the side. But that is one of the things that I do enjoy doing, and I just actually just love sharing and encouraging others to just, like you say, just build the best life. And I love just encouraging them to be the best person they can be for themselves and their family and the kingdom of God.
Awesome stuff. Awesome.
Hmm.
All right, Kara. First of all, can you tell everybody how you got your copy? How did you hear about this book and get your copy?
I would love to. Absolutely. I got my copy from the author, and it's amazing how God just connected us together. And actually, we're Zoom friends. We have really never met in person, and I just love that God crosses from Texas to Florida and pull us together, and we have just enjoyed our friendship. But I received my book autographed and signed and delivered to me personally from you, Deborah. And I'm just so grateful. I'm telling you, it's to me, it's a book that you read, but you never put it away. You don't ever just put it to the side. But from you.
Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, as you know, my platform comes out of my passion to see young men overcome obstacles to build their best lives. I just think our young men get such a bad rap. They want to put them all in a bucket together and say, oh, they're just terrible. And it is so far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why I started this platform, because I want to show them, how they can overcome obstacles that they have or whatever is pulling them back,
Mm-hmm.
and just get out there. So what are your thoughts as far as me starting this platform? Do you think that it is something that is needed for our
Oh,
young men?
oh my God. And Miss Deborah, let me just say this. Your book is just intertwined with the passion that you have on every page. I felt and I still feel the passion you have for young people, for young men. And you are absolutely right. It is so needed in today because we continue to see our young men struggling with just life itself. And so I totally agree that this is a book I would really call it a how-to book. Build your best life for young men, and young men really need it. As a matter of fact, um, we see the newspaper. You in Florida, I see it here locally. How we lose so many of our young men to the street for various reasons. And even recently, I guess it's still on my heart that this past on Christmas Day, a young man who just graduated from high school here had an opportunity to go to college up in Utah, lost his life at a Christmas party, you know? And so when we hear things of that magnitude and that nature, this book and your platform to me is something that is so needed because people need to be and become more aware, and the young men need to become more aware. But I know we'll get more into that as we talk about your book, because I think you have not left anything unturned for these young men to be able to have this book and parents to have this book in their hand, because you got lots of great information in the book.
Thank you for that, Carol.
Uh-huh.
Well, in the book, I tried to make it interesting. It has information in there that is useful, but I tried to make it interesting for others to want to get in there and read or whatever. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so there are some stories in there. Do you have any of those stories that were memorable to you?
Yes. One in particular I really read and I could relate to was President Obama's story when you talked about the obstacle of being raised by a single mother. I that was just one of the ones that stuck out to me, because that within itself can be an obstacle. But when you can see that he had that was an obstacle then, but that's not where he stayed. That's not where he left, and just continued to let that be an issue for him. Yes, I'm sure there was very many challenges for his mom as well as for himself. But when we can see the end result of what what you can be, even in a single parent home, that to me was one, because it was very personal to me.
Great. Yes, he, is amazing. And that just goes to show that
Yes.
they all have issues. Well, not all, but most of them have different issues, but you can overcome those. And just because you are in a single family home doesn't mean well, woe is you. You have to be in
Right.
the system. You're not going to be able to be smart, intellectual, whatever.
Hmm.
It's just a great example, I thought, of what you can do if you know what to do. You have someone to assist you in helping you to be your
Absolutely.
best.
Yeah, I totally agree that, you got to have someone to assist you. You got to be able to think past where you are, and you got to have some stamina and some goals that you want to move further than where you are, and to change just to even change that he now has a family and he is a father, and to know that he's continued to say, just because I didn't have a father, I want to be a great father to my children. So uh, uh, just the obstacles that, like I said, that I know a single mom face, having to do the job of two parents, all of those are obstacles, but you have to know that there is an opportunity for you to overcome that. Now, I don't want to paint a picture that it's easy, and it's not. I mean, it's some hard things that you're going to have to go through. Because one, for me, I was a single mom, and so I knew that there was an absent dad and there was absent finances. With all of that, those were obstacles, but I worked several jobs, but I worked those jobs, and I explained to my son, now I'm working these jobs, but and I may not be here as much as I want, but I still have goals. I still have things that I want to set, that I want you to do, and I want you to know, and anyone else to know, that that is no excuse for me wanting you to become the best person you can be. So I think that those are obstacles, but you have to have a mindset that's going to be very different, to not let those obstacles get in the way of really talking to your sons about being the best they can be.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
Good evening, Jocelyn. Thank you for tuning in. So glad you could join us.
Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn.
Yes. All right. So now within the different chapters, of course, I talk about, different your life, your actions, different things in the book. What was your
Hmm.
favorite chapter?
Oh, Miss Deborah. Let me just show you my book. Favorite chapters. Oh my God. I really think the obstacles to overcome happen to be one. Let me see here. Uh, I really like your honesty about uh, telling the young men about ways to date. I really did like that. Um, Now, I guess never say never, because I know that's a huge one for young men to get in the place and start saying, "Oh, I'll never do that," or I'll never," look like their hope is being taken away. So let's go with that one for right now.
Okay. Yes, it's just amazing. Um, and one of my stories in there was being coming from African American home and back during segregation. I went to I think I was in 8th grade when I first went to a desegregated school,
Hmm.
and of course we just had what I call regular food. I had never had pizza, so there were only 3 African American individuals in our class, and our teacher was taking us on this outing, and he was like, taking us to see this museum, to show us the art and everything, and he said he was taking us to get pizza, and we were like, I don't eat pizza. I don't,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
we didn't say we didn't eat, we just said we don't like pizza.
Right, right.
I don't like pizza. Nobody could not believe he didn't like pizza. But he thought, within himself probably it's not that they don't like it. They probably never had it.
Hmm.
So, he stopped and got us some burgers and fries, but he
Uh-huh.
made sure that we tasted that pizza. And I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna tell you that's one of my favorite foods now. But
Ah,
it's that if we had never had the opportunity or we had never taken that opportunity, I still might not, have ever had pizza.
you might not like pizza today, huh?
Right.
Yeah, I do like that all of the never things that that I would never do. I would never pay that much money. But I particularly like number six, you said. I would never waste my time going back to school. And so with that, I think that can be an obstacle. You may think you don't even need to go to college. Some young men think, I don't, as an educator myself, I've heard those stories, and I was a math teacher, so it was really back then. It was very hard to convince people, and them that math is significant. But yeah, to even make those kind of statements that what you will never do, because you and I both know that education is key. You got a quote in here. You said education is not only a ladder of opportunity, but it is also an investment in our future, and that's Ed Markey. And you're absolutely right. Because some people say, I don't need to go to college. I don't need to do this. But this is what I always say. You may not need to go, but there is a door that college can open up that will never open up to you if you don't go. So, and I know there's trade school, and I'm an advocate for that if that's what you want. But somewhere you got to develop, I think you say that your talent and your skill, and you gotta get better at it. And so when you say that college is not for you, or a high school diploma is not for you, there are things that you cannot do if you don't have that little piece of paper. And that's so important for us to establish with our young men. Hmm.
Absolutely. And it's never too late to do those things. Never too
Absolutely.
late.
Hmm. I always brag about this. My mother, all of us was grown and with kids, and my father had just passed, and I can't remember, but I think she was in her early 60s or something, and she decided that she wanted to get her GED. So I applaud her for doing that. And just like you said, it is never, never too late to go back and get that piece of paper if you haven't gotten it.
All right. Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that with us.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I talk a lot about the young men, and that is my platform, and I have a passion for them. However, you reading the book, I know you can attest that it is more than just for them.
Oh,
But
yes.
can you tell us why you think someone should get the book?
Listen, it's so funny, and I have to turn to that page when you talked about uh, goal setting, page 31 in the book, and I read that and I said, I'm the world's worst with making specific goals and planets. So it won't just help young men. This is something, I'm a visual learner. And so, our coach Ricardo talks to us about setting goals. And so I struggle with, putting it in writing. And it was something about seeing what you had in writing and how vague those goals should not be, how specific they are, because it puts a little pressure on you to set a deadline. And it's like a checklist that you can go back and look at it to see if you've accomplished anything. So, you have to, like you said, you got to identify your talents, establish sound goals. Sound goals are for anyone. that would benefit anyone, not just young men, but anyone can benefit from having this book in your hand. Like I said in the beginning, it's one of those that you might not read all the time, but it's one you got to keep near you because you're going to always need it to go back and make references to it.
All right. Thank you. Your book, my book almost looks like yours.
At least you got some cute little ones, but I'm like, oh my God. But I really did like that because when you set specific, and I think you talk about that with the word specific as well. But when you do specific, writing it down, and you can set yourself a timeline. That was another one, a time frame as to when you want to accomplish those things. And if you haven't done it, now you got to go back and regroup. I love that.
Yes, definitely.
Uh-huh.
And hello, Dan. Thanks for watching. All right. Now, as a mother, and I know you have raised a son, do you think it is important for mothers to have those honest conversations with their sons? I know, most people will say, okay, fathers, and you got to get your sons, you got to sit down and talk to them and blah, 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 blah. But I was one where I felt like there's things I knew about other women. And of course, I knew about myself and I knew my sons. And I just felt like that was a conversation where I could sit down with them and have honest conversations. I mean, no holds barred. It's kind of like it is. What do you feel about that? You think that's more the man's duty,
Like they say, there are some things men can teach our young men, but there are things that women and mothers can teach. I think God said he gave us that sixth sense, and that sixth sense is so key when we're trying to talk to our young men, because that is we gonna feel it from the heart and from our passion, where I'm not saying that dads don't, but sometimes when it comes down to dating and things like that, and you see something that the young men won't see because they're so in love. But mothers, we gonna look hard, we're gonna look deep, and we will tell you. You have to be honest about it, because like you said too, that I mean, we know that honesty is truly the best policy. You would rather be honest with them up front, and even if they decide to not listen to you, you at least share that honesty with them. We can't be afraid. I've learned that you cannot be afraid to tell the truth.
That's right.
You can't be afraid. Oh,
Great. Yes. I
yeah.
just think it's just some things that, because sometimes, dads want to, hit them on their back. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. But, when you do things, there's some consequences, and you need to know what the
Definitely.
consequences
Yeah.
are.
Hmm.
It's not a contest. You got plenty of years to do what you want to do. It's a
Yes,
time and a place and a right way to do everything. So I'm going to tell you the right way.
exactly.
You
Hmm.
don't need to get any notches on your belt, nothing like that.
I like what you said in the book also. You sometimes we have to, as mothers, share with them, you gotta think with this head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I love that. I fell out laughing when I read that part, but that is so true. And that is part of that honest conversation that mothers can have, because like you said, it's not about the notches on the belt. Let me just be frank, because those notches on the belt will get you a lot of child support stuff going on, and
Yes.
that would be an obstacle.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, yes, you don't want to, you know, and how sad, how sad is that to find this right person you want to marry, and then it could be a good life for you all, but you got 5 child support checks coming out of your, out of what you're going to earn. I don't care how much money you earn, that's still a lot being taken out of your immediate household for something that your wife didn't have anything to do with, and so that, and your children within that family didn't have anything to do with, and that can create a lot of problems too.
Right.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah,
Great
everything
book,
has
Miss Deborah.
consequences.
Great book.
Thank
All I
you.
can say, practical book.
Well, I tried to make it, basic principles, and that's what it's all about. It's basic principles that, you know, we got taught years ago, but people don't teach them in school anymore. They don't teach, a lot of parents don't teach them anymore. And people forget about them, but basic principles never go away, and they are
Ever.
so helpful.
They are. They are. Like you said, they are there, for forever. And so, we have to learn how to abide by those basic principles, because that's how you're going to build the best life that you can have. And that's how we all have to choose and make and have choices, and to continue to rely upon those principles, because they don't, like you say, they don't go away. They may seem old fashioned, but they are standards that are there for everybody.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. It has been a joy.
Oh my God.
I really appreciate you coming on tonight to talk about Build Your Best Life. I think it is a good book. It
Oh
can
my
help
God.
many, many, many educators, coaches, pastors, parents, grandparents, and of course, our young people.
Hmm.
So it is very helpful.
Very, very helpful.
But before we go, Carol, are there any takeaways or anything else that you want to share with everybody about this book, or any of the principles or anything?
What stuck in my head this time is obstacles can be overcome. And if we could just remember that, because you even talked to them about mistakes and mishaps and all those kind of things. So my one takeaway is there's going to be obstacles in all of our lives, but it's like you say, it's how we handle those obstacles. And so even with that obstacle there, I always ask myself, can I learn something from this? That I don't go back and repeat the same thing over again. And if I made that mistake, like you said, it may take a while, but don't give up, because you can overcome it. But you have to remember, you have to change your mindset about the situation. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And
You're
of
welcome.
course, you can get this book off my website, which is www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. My web store is on there, and you can get your autographed copy. But if you
Wonderful.
can't wait, you may also get it from Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. But it is something that, as Carol said, you will enjoy it. It is, I mean, it's one of those things that, every now and then I have to go, it's like, hey,
Go back to it.
go
Yes.
back to it.
Put it away, but you can put it away for a minute, but you got to go back and pick it up again. Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. So, and Miss Jocelyn, I have not forgot you. But, so if you know of a young man that maybe cannot afford this book, and you think it would be a good idea for him to get it, if you can drop me a comment, or you can email me at wyblwdsmith@gmail.com. It's like build your best life with Deborah Smith at gmail.com. Just shoot me their name. We have 3 to give away. I only have 1 name, so I have 2 more books.
Oh, great.
So
Mhm.
we're just glad to be able to share that information.
That's great.
And thank you so much, Joycelyn. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in today.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have anything else going on, Carol, that you want to mention?
Oh, no, I'm just so looking forward. Like I think they said, don't rush this year away, but I'm so looking forward to what God has in store for uh, each one of us. I continue to, like you said, I'm continuing to build my best life, and it is a daily process. And as our coach always say, I just want to get better with age. And so right now that is all, I'm just open to ministry, and ministry has been coming. But I've learned to say yes to a lot of things that I might not have said yes to prior to now. So right now I don't have anything that's on the calendar, but I'm just looking forward to what God is going to do to add things on that calendar of mine.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, and
You're welcome.
have a blessed remainder of this year. It will be over very soon.
Very soon, very soon. But thank you so much, Deborah. I do appreciate it. It's always a joy and a pleasure to have the opportunity to be on this platform with you, because I feel the passion and know the passion you have for our young men. And so it is really a joy to just add to it anytime that you ask me to do so. So thank you for your heart. Thank you for your passion. And I do appreciate every opportunity.
Okay, thank you. And just so everybody will know, beginning second Thursday in January, there's going to be Thursdays with Deborah and Carol.
Right. I didn't know if you wanted to announce that. I'm so looking forward to that as well. So I wasn't gonna steal the show. I was gonna let you tell them that. But I'm excited about it. And like I said, once again, thank you. I'm looking forward to you and I sharing on that Thursday and the second Thursday of each month. So I'm excited. So that is on my calendar, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yes. All righty.
All right, then. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Everybody have a good evening. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's see.